find ways to win very close games when it matters most. You did not play your best game offensively. You left way too many runners on base. There's not an excuse. There's no doubt what the storyline was going into the part where Cade Beloso sent an absolute nuke into right field. A guy who last year did not know if he was coming back. Neely leaves a fastball right down the heart of the plate 0-1, and Cade Beloso sent that puppy all the way to Jupiter. Better yet, he sent that pitch from Neely right up Uranus. Let's go. Hell yeah. Struggling at the plate? No problem. Here comes Ty Floyd. The best pitching performance, guys, let's call it what it is, maybe we've seen in the College World Series. Didn't get a help out from his defense on the Gavin Dugas fumble when the infield is in. That run should not have scored. Yeah, he gave up a home run. Okay. Doesn't matter, though, because he sends 17 guys that come up for Florida. He sends them home. Jack Caglione, the best power hitter in the game, could not do anything against Ty Floyd. Oh, Mr. Blake, he had a double. Don't matter. It was a double bloop single. LSU is shifted. Now, I will tell you, my heart went all the way to my genitals in the bottom of the 10th when Wyatt Langford smoked that ball out in the left field. Josh Pearson, all 5'9.5" of Josh Pearson, climbs the ladder to save the game for you, because what would happen is the very first batter up for LSU would be Cade Beloso. Wow, 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 wow. Guys, you are one game away. You are one game away from winning a national title. You are one game away from winning a national title, getting your redemption from 2017, and the second coach in year 2 at LSU winning a natty. You're a game away. A game away. Let's go finish this thing, but we'll break this game down here tonight. Before we get rolling, tonight's show is brought to you by our good friends over at betonline.ag. You want to bet on the game tomorrow? Go and do so. Use our good partners over at betonline.ag. Use your mobile device to sign up today. Use that promo code BELIEVE50. That's BLEAV50. You'll get a 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, betonline.ag. And also, tonight's stream is brought to you by our friends over at Blue Chew. I know for most of you men, you're not going to need anything right now because you're probably rock hard. No pause. Bottom line is, I can't believe they're making me read this. Bottom line is, if you do need some help in that area, use the promo code SPORTS20 at checkout to get your redemption. Look, man, best sex you could ever have will be with Blue Chew. Use that promo code SPORTS20. All right, let's get to some of these comments. Our guy TJ, Florida State, no double fries, no slaw, says double fries F the Gators. Yeah, I was on with TJ last night, I believe. And he is not a Gators fan. He is a Florida State Seminole through and through. Harlan Harris, what's up, Harlan? Sends a $10 super chat, says, go Tigers, baby. Other than Labor Day weekend, super producer Harlan. Gotta love it. Daniel Edwards says, now Skeens is in play, sends a $10 super chat. Thank you, Harlan, for the super chat as well. Well, he certainly is in play for game 3. You would wonder if you're in a one-run game tomorrow and you're up, if he doesn't give you an inning, I don't know if you go to him. So, Daniel, I don't know if you go to Skeens tomorrow, okay? I just don't believe personally that you go to Skeens tomorrow. You wait to a game 3 type scenario. But you might not need him. You might not need Skeens. And for everybody on planet Earth, who said LSU can't win games without Skeens, well, the truth is you just did. You just did. Okay? Ty Floyd. So let's start here. Let's break some of these down. We'll get to all these super chats. If you want your comments up first, we get to the super chats first. So send them in if you're on YouTube. All right. Let's get to it. So LSU scores a run in the first. And look, their approach at the plate early in the game was not bad. Quite honestly, a lot of times throughout the night when Sprout, the Florida starter, was out there, you did some really good things, man. You just could not deliver. You could not deliver when it mattered with runners on base and no outs, 1 out, hell, even with 2 outs. You couldn't deliver. You did one time, though, and you know who it was? K. Beloso. In the bottom of the first, or top of the first, Dugas would walk. So let me stop right there. Gavin Dugas was on one tonight. So your 2 seniors were on one tonight. Gavin Dugas, before the RBI, Cruz got hit by the pitch, and Dugas saw 11 pitches at that at-bat. 11 pitches. Fouling off everything, staying alive, doing what he needed to do at the plate. And from a guy who a lot of people have been in this chat, have been talking a lot of garbage about Gavin Dugas. He sees 11 pitches. He gets on base. Cruz goes to second. Beloso, for the second time in his career, goes to the opposite field. And then he get the line drive base hit in between second and third. And Cruz would score. Cruz would score. You would come up and look, bottom of the first, Floyd was good. I mean, Caglione had the double, the one that Dugas lost in the air. Was what it was. But this would start in the second. This would start some situations where LSU tomorrow is going to have to capitalize on. You leave the bases loaded in the top of the 6th. Morgan K's up. Tommy White hits a line drive missile to the third baseman. Top of the third, Gavin Dugas would hit the bomb into left field. Beloso would single into right field again, but then after you got all the momentum, you're up 2-0. Thompson would reach base on the error, but Pearson and Milazzo would go down. You would leave runners on. So all night, you left guys on. Top of the 4th, same deal. Morgan would single. Dugas would hit a double into center field, the one that Langford tried to dive for and missed. Intentional walk to Beloso, and then Joe Bear would strike out. But here comes Ty Floyd, okay? This is when Ty Floyd, so he had already gotten through 3, something that we had seen all year long. Ty can really get you through 3 innings pretty damn well. This is where I think that Floyd really started making it Now, he had a lot of strikeouts early. He had 7 strikeouts through 3 innings. 7 of the first 9 outs were strikeouts for Ty Floyd. He continued to do that. As in the bottom of the 4th, Heyman and Chenault would come up. He K'd them up in 6 pitches. 6 pitches from Floyd in the bottom of the 4th and lit that ass up, man. Lit that ass up. Top of the 5th, Thompson would walk, but guess what? Wouldn't matter because Fisher, the lefty, would come in and you would do absolutely nothing. The only time that Floyd was in real trouble was the bottom of the 5th. And this is when we usually see Ty Floyd start to struggle. He gives up a double into left field to Evans. Halter bunts, gets the runner to third. Now, this is where you got to play elite defense to be able to stop runs. Every run in this series to win it all is so freaking crucial, man. So freaking crucial. Runner on third. Infield is in. Gavin Dugas has to make that play. Ground ball to second base. He could have just easily fielded it, rifled it to Milazzo. You would have saved that run. Wouldn't matter, though. And that was a big play because you needed an out. You know, you did need an out. And then Langford would ground out to Jordan Thompson. Stop me if you've heard this before. In the 6th, LSU left 2 guys on. Another inning, leaving guys on. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. Bottom of the 6th, Floyd would give up the home run to Riopeld, but he K'd out the side. Okay? So from the 6th inning on, besides the home run that tied it okay? Ty Floyd was impeccable tonight. From the 5th inning to the 8th inning, he was lights out. The best Ty Floyd has ever been in his entire freaking life started in the 5th. He gave up the home run to Riopeld, but he struck out Caglione, Rivera, the first-team All-SEC shortstop, and Heyman. Bottom of the 7th. Now, I tweeted this out. LSU, Thompson, Pearson, and Milazzo would all go down in order. You felt like the momentum had completely shifted to Florida because it had. And I just said, look, if you're going to win this game, if you're going to win, it comes right now in the bottom of the 7th. Because the Evans kid for Florida, if you haven't watched Florida All World Series, has been red freaking hot. You would see it later on because he would hit a double, and I'm like, oh, shoot. Ty Floyd, 3 straight strikeouts in the bottom of the 7th. In the bottom of the 8th, he would get the toughest part of the lineup out. So from the 5th, from 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, or 8th, Ty Floyd was impeccable. 17 total strikeouts. What was it? It broke the record. When you needed Ty Floyd the most, I have a fever, and the only prescription is Ty Floyd. He shut the game down for you. He completely shut the game down for you. So White in the bottom of the 8th, too, would hit the massive home run. So LSU, after the home run by Riopeld in the 6th, LSU was down 3-2. Top of the 8th, Tommy Tanks, who now is going to be a legend forever at LSU, delivered for you again. An 0-2 breaking ball. Why Florida did not learn their lesson last night. And listen, I listened to Kevin O'Sullivan in his pregame when him and Jay shook hands and all that stuff. They asked him, Kevin, what is your scouting report on LSU? Which he's not going to give that. I mean, he'd be an idiot to do that. But he just comes out and says, this is what gets me. He says, I have not even really looked at them yet. Brother, you're 24 hours away from playing LSU in the College World Series final. What do you mean you hadn't looked at him yet? That's a lie or he's an idiot. Either that's a lie or he's an idiot. But he's like, if we just do what we got to do, no, you got to have a scouting report, because 2 nights before that, on an all-speed pitch, a slider, Tommy Tanks sit that up your anus. Okay? Gave every LSU fan the feeling you would have if you were on Blue Chew. Okay? Sent that puppy 400 feet. The living legend strikes again. The living legend strikes again. I got to tell you, though, when Cooper came in, he was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. He gave up the walk, the pass ball by Milazzo, got a runner to second. But Schickofer, say that 7 times fast. You say that 7 times fast, and Hocus Pocus appears. Schickofer. But I really thought the game was done in the 10th. Like, I was like, man, you got to be able to score with the top of your lineup up. Travinsky would come in. We'd pitch it for Milazzo. We'd strike out. Cruz would walk. Intention walk to Tommy Tanks. Morgan would fly out to second, and Dugas would fly out into center field. I honestly, because I knew that there was a really good chance that Wyatt Langford was going to come up in that inning, he did. So Wyatt Langford, okay, would be up with 2 runners on first and second. Cooper had hit the batter, and I will be honest, man, I did not like it. I was panicking. I couldn't take it. Like a fat boy trying to eat a chocolate chip cookie. I could not take it. Like, if you ever set a cookie in front of a fat kid, he's going to start breathing heavy, okay? He's so excited. But mine was the opposite. I just couldn't take it. I felt like I was having a panic attack. Hit by pitch, but then Curlin would come up, and I'm thinking, man, if you could just get them to roll into a double play, you got to. Well, Cooper would get it, but it was a line drive that would hit his glove, runners on first and second. And another defensive play, man. You've had 2 in the last 2 games that you had to have. All 5'9" of Josh Pearson, after a ball was hit 113 miles an hour off the bat. 113 miles an hour off the bat. I thought it was over. I seriously thought the game was over when he hit that ball. In the left field, Pearson jumps, makes an amazing catch, gets the ball back in, almost doubled them up. And then Caglione would fly out to second, and he's been struggling all College World Series. And then in the end, you know what happened. Kay Beloso sent that thing out of here quicker than that fat kid running with that cookie. And then you wouldn't get another run, but then Cooper would come in and absolutely close the door. He would get Rivera to fly out to Kling, and then Riopelle and Fabian would strike out. So massive, massive night. You're 1 win away from winning the College World Series. Let's get to some of these comments. We'll get through these comments through the rest of the night. You know the drill. Most of you, I'm assuming, have already been in here. If you haven't done so already, hit the like and share. But if you do send in the super chats, we do get to those questions first. All right. Luke on YouTube sends a $4.99 via super chat. Says, Blake, we win game 2. No jinx. Who we throwing tomorrow? Man, that's a good question. You know, Luke, I really would go. I mean, how many days rest would that be for Ackenhausen or Herring? I mean, I would think one of those two. I would see if how Nate Ackenhausen feels. See if Nate would get the ball for you. That's where I'm leaning. Now, personally, that's where I'm leaning. We'll see. We'll see. Rick sends $5 via super chat. He says, I think layoff hurt Gators and momentum is all on LSU side. They came out hot and riding off the Wake Forest win on a high. Will not be denied. Go Tigers. Well, I tell you, though, Rick, Florida State in there, man. as much as we can sit here and say, and which we should, right? We should 1,000% say that LSU left on the field much to be desired, right? Like, they did not play their best game. And it's not like they haven't seen someone better than Sprout. I think that Pretty Boy Sunshine from Wake Forest was better. I think Beam was better. I think Chase Burns, which we're going to talk on Chase Burns at the end of the show here, because there's some rumors out there that he might be hitting the portal. We'll talk on that in a minute, or at the end of the show. But I don't think Sprout's the best guy you've seen. Oh, like, not even remotely close. And you handled him. And you just didn't execute when you needed to most. In that order, not in the back order when Tommy Tanks hit the bomb, not when Beloso hit the bomb. You got to deliver, because, man, the truth is that Riopelle home run in the 6th when Florida took the lead, it should not have mattered, right? Like, that home run should not have mattered, because literally in every inning besides one. So you've gone through 6 innings. You'd lift runners on base every inning besides one. Besides no, actually, you left runners on in every inning. I lied. I forgot that Thompson walked there. You had left runners on. You had runners on every inning. You got to be able to perform there. And so that game should have been well in hand earlier throughout. But then the home run, and then, you go down 1-2-3, but then Ty Floyd, man, it's just, you can't put a premium. Guys, the best pitcher in college baseball is not available game one. It's just not available. And when you're the best player, and which, let's call it what it is, right? Like, we all pretty much believe that Paul Skeens is going to win the Golden Spikes Award, right? Like, I feel like Paul Skeens tomorrow is going to win the Golden Spikes Award. That's just me. And he's not available. And Ty Floyd, let's call it what it is, has been rocky. He's been up and down all year. Up and down all year. I mean, in the Super Regional, for example. But he struck out 10 against Wake Forest, and he struck out 17 tonight. That performance, for me, whether it be in 09, whether it be in 17, name any of the skip years, that performance from Ty Floyd might be up there with one of the all-time greats. Like, if it's not in the top 5, man, like, come on. Striking out 17 dudes from one of the best hitting teams in the country. Guys, their front three guys, okay, is well over and pushing already 60 bombs. And they didn't really do anything against you. They didn't do anything against you. Because Ty Floyd, I got a favor, shut them down. He shut them down. And then when you needed your senior the most, he delivered. Jordan Haydad, what's up, Jordan? He sends a $49.99 super chat. Thank you so much, my man. He says, made men. You got to feel like that at some point, man. And that kind of goes to Rick's point, too. I mean, you just keep delivering, man. You just keep delivering. And that's why you need seniors. I mean, the Doogie home run, the Tanks home run, the Belly home run. I mean, you needed it tonight. You needed them in the worst way. And they delivered. You know, we say this all the time from coaches about recruiting your own roster. Getting 8 and getting 24 to return. You don't put a premium on it. It's priceless at this point. Jordy Provost, what's up, Jordy? Sends a $4.99 via Super Chat. Says, just got out of church. What happened? Did LSU win? Well, man, let me just tell you something, Jordy. You need to go back to church next time. Stay in there. Go light candles all night. Yes, sir, they did. Yes, sir, they did. John Butler says, Tigers win. We will take all the runners left on base An unperfect win. Go Mahal belongs to the Tigers. One more win. That's one thing that, and thank you. He sends the $20 super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. That's one thing you got to admire with this team. That's one thing you got to admire, man, is just the simple nature. They don't really get rattled that much. They don't get rattled. Things might not go their way, right? Like things might not go their way, but at this point, you just feel as if that they're going to find a way. And now, Skeens does get put back in play in the sense of if you do lose tomorrow, you're going to see Skeens in game 3. You know it. I know. Like, don't even be in the chat debating it. At some point, you're going to see Skeens. All right, let's get to some more of these comments. Pocket Pickle sends a $4.99 super chat. Pocket Pickle, if you got something to say, put it inside the chat, man. Put it inside the chat. I'll try to get to it. Whew. Elwin says gold jerseys. Yeah, that plays. I do feel like that plays a massive factor. I'm superstitious like that, man. Penn Jones says dad bods rule tonight. Well, quite honestly, they've ruled the entire College World Series. If you got a big – listen, the impeccable male physique is guys like me that have big bellies, okay? It's the perfect male physique. If you like a thin crust Domino's pizza, okay, real men eat thin crust Domino's pizza, the whole pie, all right? Ask Gabe Beloso if he's eating a thin crust Domino's pizza. And you think you shouldn't? Brett Guillory says need to get some production out of the bottom of the lineup. I fully agree with that. They have struggled. They can't buy a hit. They can't buy a hit with all the Raising Cane's NIL. They can't do it. Right? Like Ty Graves couldn't buy a hit for Jordan Thompson right now. Pete says rumors he gonna come. I think Skeens and Floyd will go to draft. Oh, if you're talking about Chase Shores, well, I mean not Chase Shores, Chase Burns. We'll get to that at the end. I'm not gonna break you one game away from winning a national title to talk about any recruiting. Not gonna happen. Arctic Tiger says Nate tomorrow, then Guidry, then Cooper to close. Yeah, and look, man, you gotta start asking yourself another question. So let's talk about Riley. We hadn't really talked about him tonight. So Cooper comes into the bottom of the ninth. Again, not really he's in trouble once, but gets 2 ground outs to Rivera and Riopelle. Heyman walks the pass ball from Milazzo. Fabian comes in to pitch run. And then Sheekoffer, again, say that name 7 times fast, and Hocus Pocus is going to appear. Beetlejuice. It's going to appear. Cooper gets Robertson, hits Halter. The infield single by Curlin, the line drive that hit off of his glove. And then we already talked about the Pearson play. Caglione flied out. Rivera, Riopelle, and Fabian would go down in order. And what is that, the 4th save? Win and save for it's a win and save tonight, but that's clearly the 4th save for Riley Cooper. And look, there's nothing more pure. There is nothing more pure than a coach that continues to say throughout a season, win, lose, or draw, if a player looks good, if a player looks bad, then he continues to say that he's going to go to a guy. He goes to the guy and doesn't take the pedal off of fast forward. He trusts him. He trusts Riley. Rob on YouTube says Floyd was the total bomb tonight, Blake. Yeah, he was. Luke says, Blake, take a big sip of whatever you drinking. Okay. Well, I got the whiskey over here, but I'm not going to show you the whiskey. Whew. What a game. What a game. Man, I will tell you, this World Series has taken probably 17 years off my life. No question. Thank you, Rob and Luke, for the super chats. Cole with the $4.99 says, # like still waiting on those heart pills. Did you next day ship them or what? I did not, but God bless it, I need them. God bless it, I need them. Dale with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Dale. Pocket Pickle. That might be the best YouTube name of all time. Pocket Pickle. He said tonight LSU guaranteed a natty or a Skeens appearance, possibly both. Could be. It's a good point. Thank you for the super chat. It's a good point, right? I mean, you got to assume that you're going to win the game tomorrow or you're going to see Skeens in some fashion game 3. But here's the truth. And look, we'll look into tomorrow. Everybody hit the like and share right now. Everybody stop what you're doing, hit the like and share. Let's talk about that. Look, you go into a game tomorrow against a guy that, quite honestly, could have easily been at LSU. Okay? When Hurston Waldrop hit the portal, Jay Johnson went after him. All right? And nevertheless, he did not it was what it was. And you've seen him before. You saw him a year ago. You saw him a year ago against USM. And he did not do bad. I would have to go back and look at that game. But I was at that one. And there were times my man was up to 99.7 miles per hour. Like, the dude can throw it. Now, he's a cocky little shit, right? Like, he's a cocky son of a gun. But you can beat him. He's not invincible. With this lineup, he is not invincible. And the truth is, LSU does hold the upper hand because when you've already seen somebody, now we've seen Skeens see teams twice and it not bode well for them. But this is a different beast and a different lineup, okay? A different team. And I think it bodes well for you that you've seen Waldrop before. There are times where Waldrop, and look, you got to be disciplined at the plate because my man's going to walk dudes. Now you got to find a way tomorrow. You have to find a way tomorrow, if you get these runners on, that you get them over and get them in. Get them on, get them over, and get them in. Because I feel like with the bats, you can – look, you proved tonight. Look, Florida gave you their best punch. Let's call it what it is. Florida gave you their best punch, and it didn't prevail. Neely and Fisher are their two best guys out of the pen. It's not even a question if the two guys out of the pen that you saw tonight were Florida's best guys, because they were. They easily were. And can those guys maybe come back tomorrow? I don't think Neely can. But look, you're in the World Series. Hell yeah, that guy can come in. I mean, everything goes. Everything goes. Okay? But they threw their best punch at you, and you found a way to hang on, and you found a way to win. It's what championship teams do. That's what championship teams do, man. I bet Jay's got to be beside himself. That's two in a row. That's 2 extra inning games in a row. Rick with a $5 super chat says LSU exercising demons from 2017, extract revenge from the Gators. Let's finish it tomorrow and sweep. Told you about them championship gold jerseys, Blake. Yeah, I love them. I love them. But what are y'all going to do if they wear purple tomorrow? Let me tell you something. If this team wears purple tomorrow, I might lose it. I might talk about heart pills. I might have a panic attack. All right. Nick Duhan says, Cooper, the round mound from B-Town. That man has delivered when you needed him most. That man has outright delivered when you needed him most. August Theodore the Fourth says Scott Wilbur for president. Yeah, that man. If LSU holds on, that man needs a statue. That man needs a statue. Aaron Hill says you got Paul Skeens and the white CC Sabathia. Oh, God. Shane says double dosage of the cardiac medication. Ain't that the truth? Why can't we just beat the ever-living dog shit out of somebody? You know what I mean? Like, why can't we just beat the outright dog shit out of somebody? Come on, man. Oh, wow. Jay Johnson. Damn, Jay Johnson telling Cade that you're going to get the pitch that you get. Is that accurate? Apparently, there's some rumors going out there, or I just, because I got like 7 people sending this to me. Apparently, Jay told Cade Beloso what pitch to expect. Jeff says, hashtag ask Blake, did Pearson do his best impression of Trey with that catch? More than that, man. I mean, look, he saved you tonight. I mean, I think Trey's play is bigger because it's more difficult. But Pearson, I mean, man, that ball's at 113 miles an hour off the bat. If it's got any backspin, if that ball has any backspin, it is probably out of the stadium. Okay? But he just makes an elite play. And you got to give Jay a lot of credit on the placement there, because you got to be able, if a line drive single is hit in the left field, you have to have Pearson up there enough to where he's able to throw somebody out at home. And he read the ball off the bat perfectly and got the right read and made the jump and made the catch. But Cade Beloso, again, look, he did this already in the College World Series. I mean, game 2 against Wake Forest, he won the game for you. Let's call it what it is. My man won the game for you. Now, you had massive pitching performance there, but at the same time, he won you that game. Second bomb, and he was on fire tonight. He had 3 hits tonight. Got to go close it. Nolan Strange says, can we just thank God that Scott Willard for getting all these great coaches? No doubt. And look, Jay Johnson, for what it's worth, look, we talk about these players a lot, and rightfully so. Okay? We talk about so many things. We talk about this player, that player, but you got to give a tip of the cap to Jay, because he's got this team locked in, man. He's pushing all the right buttons. And you saw glimpses of this from the pen, right? Like, you saw glimpses of this. The last, really, 3 out of the last 4 outings from Ty Floyd, you saw that he could do something like this. You knew that the talent was there. And over the last month and a half, man, you've kind of just performed on the mound. And by the way, you're only getting better. I mean, you got Cade Woods, the kid from Monroe, who was at Alabama, their best relief guy. You got Jamie Lair. And then Chase Burns is going to more than likely be in the portal. Now, I talked to people over at Vandy. They do not believe he's going to Vandy. They pretty much have ruled him out from their sourcing. But TCU, talked to some people over at TCU today. And people at TCU think that with the connections that Chase Burns has at TCU, that he could possibly find his way there. But LSU is firmly in the mix. And so what Jay has figured out on the mound with the guys that he's going to put up at the plate, you know? And look, even taking out Joe Bear. Now, I did have a lot of questions, and I hadn't seen one in here tonight, but I will answer some of the questions I was getting on Twitter because I did not answer them there. A lot of people asking and saying, well, Blake, what about taking out Thompson? For whom, man? again, I don't know how many times that we can have this conversation. Jordan Thompson is not coming out of the game. Now, maybe you can move Pearson up, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I mean, Jordan Thompson's not coming out of the game. So, look, you're stuck with him. You're stuck with him. Dustin says, Floyd became a legend today. No question. No question. Yes, you can fire inside your super chats. We get to those first. Cody McGee with the 499 when he says that catch from Pearson reminded me of the movie Angels in the Outfield. He was flying literally. Well, my man had to have a good vert, man. He had to have a good vert. And he had to get the perfect jump. He had to have the perfect read. And he did. He did. I mean, you became so clutch tonight, man. So clutch tonight. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. All right. David Woodard says, why don't we put one of the power hitters in the bottom of the order? Well, David, I'm just going to be real with you. I don't think that your strategy there is wrong, maybe, possibly. And if this were the regular season, I think that you would do that. I do think that you would possibly and more than likely do that, right? But you can't do it. You'd probably shake the lineup up if you were struggling the way that you were, if this were the regular season. Hell, you might even do something if you're in Hoover. Man, this exact lineup has gotten you here. It's gotten you here. You can't change anything now. You just cannot change anything now. You got to stay with what has been working for you. I mean, again, you're a game away from winning this whole thing. I wouldn't change up a thing. Now, tomorrow, I do believe you go Ackenhausen. I do believe that that's the right move, okay? Ackenhausen is 1,000% the right move if he's ready to go. But if he's not ready to go, I don't know where you go. Maybe you go to Griffin Herring. But if Ackenhausen can start, I would go Ackenhausen. I would go Herring. And then I would go back to Cooper. And if Skeens wants to go or just be ready, then okay. Wouldn't it be something if you're up 1 run in the bottom of the ninth and Paul Skeens came out of the pen to the mound? My God, I would probably melt. It would be the most Ricky Vaughn major league movie thing of all time. Hey, Johnny, play the song. All right, everybody hit the like and share. Pocket Pickle again. Again, I can't get over this name. Pocket Pickle, you need to go work for our good sponsors over at Blue Chew, my man. Sports 20 is the promo code. He says, honest answer, does LSU sweep? Percentage of confidence they sweep tomorrow. And thank you again for the super chat. Shit, that's a great question. That's a really good question. Am I confident? Yes. I don't know if I would want to put a percentage on it. I do feel really good because here's like when Pickle asked that question, here's my thought. I don't think Hurston Wildrip is better than Sprout, and I think it's the reason that Sprout's been starting. He's too chaotic. Like, I mean, my man's been chaotic, and he could get touched up. Now, if he's on one, if Hurston's on one, then you're in trouble. Like, you're in real trouble. If he's locating early, you're in serious, serious trouble. The dude's he's going to be a top 15, top 20 pick. Right? Like, I mean, he's a top 20 pick. He's got stuff, man. He's got serious stuff. But I just feel for whatever reason, I just feel for whatever reason that you're going to be able to get to him. Something just like my gut feel is that you get to him, or you can get to him. The problem I have is that you just got we need to do look. I don't know if Jay doesn't play a little small ball with some of these guys. You know, let me give an example. Okay, let me give an example. You can't really do it there. But I see the top of the third, right? I see the top of the third. Brain Joe Bear strikes out after K. Beloso single. Okay? I don't know. This is so dumb because I say maybe let him bunt Beloso over, but Joe Bear, I mean, he could run into one. But the problem is he ain't run into nothing. I mean, if that man tried to run into a brick wall, he would miss and hit the Atlantic Ocean right now on a slider. But I could see you bunting him there, possibly, because Thompson, even though he's been horrific, he hit a ground ball to second that was an E4. And then Milazzo K'd up, but Pearson hit a ball to first base. You get a run there. Maybe you do see some small ball action. Chad says, play Wild Thing and let him out. Yeah, my man Dugas delivered tonight. I know my boy Chad, man. He hadn't liked old Doogie. Doogie delivered, but he's right. Play Wild Thing. Levi says, Blake, it has been confirmed. The championship golds come out tomorrow. Yeah, look. That man loves him some championship golds. That man, 1,000%. C on YouTube says, does Cade earn a look from major league teams with his performance tonight? I mean, hell yeah, they'll pick him up if he wants to play, but my man's about to go get married. Ryan also says that Jay just confirmed. Yeah, the home team gets to pick. And you will be the home team tomorrow, but he said Jay just confirmed gold jerseys in postgame. Rick Kelly says Beloso has had over 600 bats as an LSU Tiger. Experience matters, no doubt. And had 3 hits tonight. One of them won you the game. Michael Roby says, is the pitcher from Southern Miss pitching for Florida tomorrow? That he is. Hurston Waldrop will go. No doubt about that whatsoever. So we'll see. We shall see. Shane says you can still play when you get married. I know that, but Cade's already talked about that stuff, man. I don't know. I don't know if he wants to. Hazard on YouTube says, if we take the natty in baseball, how much pressure is there on BK? Well, there's a lot of pressure on BK. From a fan pressure, not real pressure. Because you're not going to fire him. I mean, he's not on the hot seat. But there's some pressure to live up to the coaches that have also been hired. But football's a different beast, man. But so is baseball. I mean, it puts some serious pressure on the old ball coach. I think he can get it done, though. I do think he can get it done. I think that man is a good enough coach to get it done. I mean, I don't think that college baseball has a Georgia. And I don't even think college women's basketball has a Georgia. Nobody's that dominant. But football's more chalky, right? Football's more chalky. But there is a playoff game in the Superdome. So we'll see. Shelton Starkey with a $199 super chat. Thank you, Shelton. Let me see if you sent anything. Shelton, you can bring in a comment. We'll bring it up for you, buddy. We'll bring it up. Royce, I have no idea where you can buy the jerseys. You're going to have to ask somebody else. I can't say your last name, buddy. Villon? Tell me how you say it. I don't know how you say that. He says, Blake, who was your pick for the Golden Spikes? When it came out, my pick, I picked Paul Skeens. I voted for Paul Skeens 10 times. I voted for Dylan Cruz 10 times. Those are my two picks. I'm not going to go one for the other. I'm going to pick both of them. Gave them both equal amount of picks. But if you're asking me who do I think is going to win it, I do think it's going to be Paul Skeens. I just don't look. Dylan's amazing and has been amazing, but there's no way in blue hell I would vote against Paul Skeens. I think the odds would say Paul Skeens as well. Jennifer says, loved seeing Joe Burrow. Absolutely. That man. Dalen Duce said, Kay Beloso hit the first extra inning home run in the Men's College World Series Finals history. How about that? Well, hold on. Oh, extra innings. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah. And that's something, I mean, and I would love to know if there's ever been a team in the College World Series that has won back-to-back games that have gone into extra innings. I would love to know that. I would love to know that part. I doubt that there is. Maybe there may be one, but it's not many. It's not many. Yeah, BK knew. BK said he was going to be in the building tomorrow, said Ashton Dillon. BK knew. That man ain't dumb. Aaron Miller says, I love the mood. A win puts you in, Blake. Shit, yeah. Losses, I get pissed, wouldn't you? Vayon. Okay, see Vayon. All right, thank you, buddy. Sorry, I didn't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm horrible with names. Royce Johnson says, the Mahal jerseys you put on. Yeah. Damn, I had one. I wore both of them. But yeah, I got my shirts. I need to wear one on here. We need to sell more of them. We sold out the shirts we were selling for Omaha. Kyle on Facebook says, what's the latest news on how we are looking at baseball recruiting? All right, so we've been in here about 55 minutes. Everybody, I hope, has hit the like and share. If you haven't done so already, if you're on YouTube, there is about 400 of you staying steady on YouTube. Do us a favor by hitting the like and share. We only have 129 likes on YouTube, and there's 400 of you. So go ahead and hit that like. Share to your Twitter, share to your Facebook. It really, really does help us out in these post games when y'all do that. So let me say this. The question was asked about baseball recruiting. So yesterday you got an electric right-handed arm, a great reliever from Alabama that did not get recruited by Paul Maneri, I might add. And after the situation at Alabama, entered the transfer portal, and Cade Woods, and he's committed to LSU. So now you've gotten Michael Braswell. You have gotten Jamie Lohr, the absolute electric left-handed pitcher, and you've gotten Cade Woods. But the real question that he's trying to ask here is about Chase Burns, the right-handed electric pitcher from Tennessee. Here's what I know. The best college baseball source that I have, not named, blank. But he's literally the best college baseball source I've ever had, ever. And he doesn't miss. He's where we go to every time. And the dude just knows his stuff. He called me, and I'll look it up on my phone what time he called me. He called me at, this is yesterday. He called me at, no, it actually was Friday. Oh, wait, yesterday was Friday. Yesterday at 8:03 a.m. Central Standard Time, and said, hey, just want to let you know there's some chatter that Chase Burns is going to go in the portal. And that LSU is a name that he's told people that he's close to once he hits the portal that he wants to go to. Them at TCU. I talked to people at Vandy, but nobody at Vandy, none of the media people over there at Vandy really believe that he would truly go to Vandy, and that he doesn't really want to do that. That it would be an LSU TCU battle. Now, listen, let me say this. At this exact moment, I have no idea personally where he's going. I only hear some of the things that probably a lot of you have heard. But there's a lot of smoke around this one. And if my guy said he was going in the portal, I do feel that he's going to go in the portal. Him and Tommy Vols apparently are not seeing eye to eye. He did not want to move back into the bullpen. He wanted to stay as a starting guy, and quite honestly, I don't blame him. I think the Tennessee had a lot more issues besides Chase Burns, but he wants to start. And I will tell you, we have some openings. Now, if he were to come here and Grant Taylor is to stay, you do have a scenario where maybe you get Ty Floyd, but Ackenhausen would stay. There's so many arms that you have, okay? You could arguably make the argument that you have the best 1-2 in a Grant Taylor and Chase Burns in the country. There's not anybody else. And that your bullpen would be elite, like really elite, like really, really good. I also believe that there is a kid that leaked out of Louisiana last year that I think has gotten a lot of interest from some SEC teams because he has put some chatter out there that he wants to hit the portal. Now, I'm not going to say his name because he hadn't hit the portal, and I don't think that it's right for me to do that because you never know with the portal. But I think Jay's on a track where if he closes the way that I think he's going to close, you do have a chance to be deeper in areas next year. You do have a chance to be deeper. We'll see. We'll see. But it's something we're definitely watching on a lot. Shelton with another $199 super chat. Thank you so much, Shelton, for doing so. Mike Anzalone, knee, with a $9.99 super chat says, Mama says, go Tigers. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You got to love it. C. Vayon on YouTube says, first time on the channel, definitely will be back. Well, I appreciate that, brother. Do us a favor by hitting the like and share. Don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube. We greatly appreciate you joining us, buddy. L on YouTube since $9.99. Now y'all just playing around. Now y'all just playing around. He says, Blake Ruffino, Franklinton Demon legend. I don't know if I'm a legend, man. I'll give that to Brandon Taylor, Terrence McGee, Clay Tyjon, Nikita McGee. I don't know about me, but I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Your boy did end the year hitting 750. Was that sophomore or junior? I don't remember. I 3 for 4, baby. 3 RBIs. You got to love it. I think it was a sophomore. What now? I don't remember. Island Run Tall Stop says Ty Floyd still hasn't lost a game this year. Still, that's right. That's right. He still hasn't lost. I got to tell you, man, I'm just Whew. I'm letting my hair grow out. I hadn't got my hair cut. Don't want to jinx anything. My goodness. My goodness. Thank you all, guys, for the super chats. You can keep them coming in. Michael Roby says Connor Griffin's in the 24 class. Isn't that right, Blake? I said, yeah, that's true. And I think that LSU is in a very good spot if they are to win this national title with NIL, that Connor Griffin's going to have to take a couple of looks at what LSU is offering. They're going to have to take a serious look. So I will tell you, if you get Connor Griffin, well, watch out. Alex Daigle says, Blake, you're the Ty Floyd of podcasting. I'll take that tonight. I'll take that tonight. Sheldon Starkey says, Floyd was the dude tonight. Props to Jay for calling in Cooper. You were my mother-in-law's first kiss. Me? Says props to the 985. I was your mother-in-law's first kiss? Who's your mother-in-law? Actually, I don't know if I want to know that. Boy. You start, Blue Chew becomes a sponsor and women coming out the woodworks. Who's Shelton? I don't know. I don't think I want you to say it. I hope she had a good time. I hope she had a good time. Tell her daddy says what's up. Tell her daddy says what's up. And that, I am a happily married man. Look at this smoke show, baby. Look at that smoke show. Yes, indeed. Hey, doggy. I'm so sleeping on the freaking couch tonight. I'm in so much shit. Oh well. It is what it is. I'm a man of only one woman. Elv says, Blake, this is Herschel. I was a freshman in high school. When you were a senior, you probably don't remember me, bro. Glad to see you doing great. Yeah, I remember you, Herschel. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Hope the family's well. Chelsea Williams. Okay. Sheldon's got me a little rattled. I see, Anyway, she sends a $4.99 super chat. She says, my husband said, let Baba Yaga, meaning Paul's Gaines, just run the bullpen tomorrow to play mind games with Florida. I actually don't mind that. And to Chelsea's husband, Chelsea, what's your husband's name? To our husband's point, you know what I'd do? I'd run. I would have no intention of really using him unless you're up 1 run in the 9th. But you know what I would do? Even if you don't plan to use him, run him out there. Like if you're up 1 run in the 6th, run him down there. Let's run him to the pen. Yeah, tell Chris I don't disagree with him. Sheldon says, Aaron Hayden, my man. I got to look this up. Hold on. All right. Chili says Riley Cooper said water and sleep is how he stays ready. It's how I stayed ready too. Oh, God. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's get this thing back on track now. Let's get this thing back on track. Anybody else got anybody else anybody else got some comments? Chelsea says that's the John Wick reference. Yeah, Baba Yaga. It's the man that you send to kill the boogeyman. Ryan says, does Blue Chew sponsor divorce lawyers? I hope so. Because, I mean, man, it's not the first time that this has happened, though, that somebody's come in and said that I've kissed their family. Brandon Garner says, is it too much to ask for to have another blowout win tomorrow? I'm tired of having chest pains. Yeah, that would be nice, but I'm going to tell you, I don't feel good about it. Golden Boot Pod says, Blue Chew on me tonight. Well, use the promo code SPORTS20. That's all I know what to tell you. All right, everybody hit the like and share. We're back tomorrow. We are back tomorrow for your post game. Now, if it goes to Monday, we're back here as well. We're back here as well. Thank you all for joining us. My name's Blake Ruffino. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and or like button wherever you're listening. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow, guys. Go kiss your mother-in-law. Shouldn't end the show like that. Peace.